Good evening. I call to order this regular meeting of the Minnehaha County Planning Commission, and I'll begin with a few introductory comments. As a courtesy to everyone here in the meeting room tonight, please make sure that all cell phones are turned off. Please note that tonight's Planning Commission meeting will be recorded live and available for viewing by the members of the public afterwards on the www.minnehahacounty.org site. In observance of the CDC guidelines for social distancing, tonight's meeting is taking place simultaneously within the County Commission meeting room and virtually within a Zoom meeting room online. In the Zoom meeting room, each individual user on the line will be on mute to maintain communication clarity for everyone. Every item listed on the agenda will be read separately. If any member of the public wishes to be heard on an item, you may raise your hand while I read the item description. If hands are raised, we will follow our normal heating procedure by requesting planning staff to present a report on each item and then request the petitioner to come to the podium and make a statement or answer any questions. Anyone from the audience wishing to address the item shall be recognized by planning staff in the order hands were raised and state their name and address for the record. The Planning Commission will then discuss the matter and take appropriate action. And for those participating remotely, please watch and review the instructions on how to raise your hand in the Zoom program that are available for viewing on the Planning and Zoning webpage. David, do you want to do a roll call vote first before we start here?
Roll call vote. Barth.
Aye.
Morehauser.
Present.
Odie.
Here.
Ralston. Here. Randall.
Here.
Vandervliet.
Here.
And Duffy.
Here. First on the agenda is public input. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? Please raise your hand, or if you are attending remotely, you will be unmuted to comment.
No hands are raised.
Thank you, David. Okay, item number 1 on the agenda is the minutes from the July 27th Planning Commission meeting. Is there any comments or changes to the minutes? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Any further discussion? Motion is made and seconded to approve the July 27th Planning Commission meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, I gotta do a roll call. Jeff Barth,
Aye.
Adam Morehauser,
Aye.
Doug Odie,
Aye.
Mike Ralston, Becky Randall,
Aye.
Ryan Vandervliet,
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. Okay, items number 2 and 4 through 15 are conditional use permits. Item number 3 is an application for a zoning text amendment. And item number 16 is a recall review of a conditional use permit. Any final action taken on the conditional use permits tonight will take effect 5 working days following this meeting unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the Planning Office by Monday, August 31st at 5 p.m. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the County Commission for a hearing on Tuesday, September 15th, 2020 at or after 9 a.m. The affected parties will be notified of the meeting date, and meetings of the County Commission are held in this same room. Action taken on the zoning text amendment will be forwarded to the County Commission for a hearing on Tuesday, September 29th, 2020 at or after 9 a.m., and meetings of the County Commission are held in this same room. Next, I will read each item, and if anyone wishes to comment on it, be time to raise your hand, or anyone in the room has the opportunity to step forward and discuss the item. Item number 2 is conditional use permit 20-21 to transfer one building eligibility from the northeast quarter, the southwest quarter, to the southwest quarter, the southeast quarter, in parentheses, except H-1 and except Tract 1, McElroy Addition, end of parentheses, all in Section 10, Township 102 North, Range 49 West. The petitioner is Connie Park. Property owner is the same. Location, 47550 258th Street. That is located 3 miles north of Sioux Falls. Is there anyone either on Zoom or in the room that care to comment on this item? Okay, then I'll move on to item number 3. Is zoning text amendment 20-03 to amend Section 12-06 mobile/manufactured homes of the 1990 revised zoning ordinance for Minnehaha County. The petitioner is Jasper Deagle. He's with the South Dakota Manufacturing Housing Association. Is there anyone on Zoom or anyone that wishes to make a comment on this item? Kevin?
I would note quick that if you wanted to take an action on item number 2, it'd probably be move backwards.
Okay, we will move back to item number 2, and it is, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 2.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Jeff Barth,
Aye.
Adam Morhauser,
Aye.
Doug Odie,
Aye.
Mike Ralston, Becky Randall,
Aye.
Ryan Veddervliet,
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. I apologize for that. Item number 3.
Yes, item number 3, as was introduced briefly, is a zoning text amendment number 2003 to amend section 12.06, the mobile manufactured home requirements in the 1990 revised zoning ordinance for Minnehaha County. This item is brought to us as an application to amend by the South Dakota Manufactured Housing Association. And it's, like I mentioned, that the section 12.06 is for manufactured homes. There are 5 requirements that are required to be met in order for a manufactured home to be placed on a property in the rural area of the county. Typically, these 5 requirements appear to be intended to make the allowed manufactured home appear as much like stick-built home as possible. With the requirement 1 is for construction safety, but then requirement 2 is for the width of the mobile home. 3 is for the full foundation around the perimeter of the wall of the home. 4 requires typical housing built materials, and requirement 5 is for minimum roof pitch. And these are all requirements that you typically see in a stick-built home. The primary concern for the application is the requirement for the perimeter foundation in requirement number 3. Currently reads, the structure shall be supported by a foundation system consisting of walls along the perimeter and piers on the interior. All foundation walls and piers shall extend a minimum of 42 inches below the final grade. The petitioner explained in a narrative that this may make a manufactured home out of compliance with HUD requirements, and it also adds costs to the homeowner. And staff would like to note that if this amendment passes, the aesthetic requirement of the original ordinance will change to have the more typical skirt enclosure around mobile homes that has been required to be a brick or something else currently. Since the other requirement that was requested by the petitioner was requirement 4, is entirely new. And that requirement reads, the home shall be enclosed below the floor with an enclosure of weather-resistant materials, provided the protection against weather deterioration, at least equivalent, that provided the coating of zinc on steel not less than 0.30 ounce per square foot of surface coated. And I think the petitioner will explain a little bit more on that. But that's a requirement to allow that whatever is skirting it does not deteriorate too fast. Staff also is going to request to alter the amendment that was given to us to add the words frost protective in requirement 3 to make sure that any new footings that are put underneath a mobile home are of frost depth or at least protected from frost in the area. I'll read requirement 3. The structure shall be supported by a frost protected foundation system meeting the requirements of 24 CFR Part 3285 Subpart D foundation. Note each home supplied with these requirements in the homeowner's manual. Staff finds the ordinance amendments may be beneficial in reducing cost and notes that a manufactured home is still required to get a conditional use permit, and if aesthetics are a part of the conditions of approval, that can still be consideration. An additional staff requested change is that as we are working in this part of the ordinance, there's a section that's a little unclear, which would be requirement number 2. The exterior dimensions of the structure measured by excluding the overhang shall not be less than 22 feet. Staff would like to finish that off with wide at its narrowest side. The intent is that it's not a single wide mobile home that sticks out like a mobile home. This would make it so that it looks more like a rectangular stick-built home. And it clarifies that it's 22 feet wide. And as I noted, staff recommends approval. There's the zoning text amendment with the changes written in. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. Also, the petitioner has some materials too.
Any questions for Kevin? Is the petitioner here? Will you please come forward and state your name and address?
Good evening. My name is Alan Spencer, 2405 Slate Creek Trail, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm a member of the Manufactured Housing Association. I've been a manufactured housing dealer in this area as well as North Dakota for about 35 years. I'm also a federally appointed consultant. We work on it's called the MHC, Manufactured Housing Consensus Committee. We're a guiding committee for HUD that deals with manufactured housing licensing, code enforcement, changes in codes and changes in requirements. There's 8 of us in the country that work with HUD along those lines. So that's just a little bit of background. So really this came up a while ago, and it was initially driven by what Kevin mentioned about the cost of the foundation. And from my perspective, probably just as important as the cost side, we continually balance at HUD cost and benefits, and more importantly, cost and safety. So the cost is always important when anything you do, but really what trumps that is the safety side. So along those lines, with these changes, in particular in Section 3, that's huge, and it might seem fairly straightforward, the requirements that the manufactured home must be placed in conjunction with 3285 Part D. That in itself raises the envelope for what needs to be done in the county dramatically. So in 3285, sort of going through the whole statute or the whole law, it requires not only frost-free foundations, but requires how the piers are set, how the shimming is set, where the piers are at. Also, conformance to the ground, the ability for the ground to withstand the loads that are borne on it. It also requires plans to be drawn, drafted, and approved by 3 agencies that the setup needs to be done to. So there's a lot in there, and it's a big step, and it will add a lot of, probably less safety, but probably a little more longevity to the manufactured home than we've ever had in the county. So in addition to that, when those requirements are met, they are required to be inspected by a third-party inspector, signed off on, and sent back to HUD. So there's really redundancy in how it's done, how it's inspected, and how it performs. That's in relation to number 3. Number 4 is a catch-all. So HUD's code requirements are performance-based. So when you read it, it sounds all zinc coated steel, not less than 0.032 ounces per square foot. Really what they're saying is you can't use a material that's substandard. And I have a couple samples of what could be done along the perimeter as a foundation cover. One is this material. It's a vinyl coated, it's a vinyl wrapped insulated material. I'll show them. I feel like I'm in The Price is Right. Auction it off when he gets done showing it to you, so. And there's a track on it, that would sit underneath the house. So if you looked at the siding coming down, that would be recessed in a little bit, like 3.5 inches. So it would be clean from the outside down. The other possibility is a framed up underskirt where it's, after the house is set, you frame this out with treated lumber, this is actually a concrete board. A concrete board on the front of it, and then it could be painted or left like it is. But it's a long life product. You would most likely use that in situations where you had grade changes. So if you had a downsloping grade front to back, you might put that in then because you can put dirt up against it. So if you can get a better drainage around the house if you have a lot that has a lot of topography in it. So those are my comments. I think this is a big change for the county, but there's nothing more the county needs done. The 3285 is governed by HUD, inspected by HUD, monitored by HUD, enforced by HUD. So there's nothing you would need to do, but adding it to your requirements enforces the proper set and installation of a manufactured home. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Any questions for him? Guess not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman, this is a public hearing, so you're going to need to ask if there's anyone that wants to
Oh,
comment.
sorry. Is there,
Make sure.
you want to go, is there anyone on Zoom that has their hands raised?
No hands are raised.
Okay.
Zoom.
Okay. Commissioners?
Madam Chair, this is Jeff.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
You know, this kind of thing clearly makes this type of structure less affordable for people of lower means. And at the same time, I think that governmental agencies can still make that a requirement at a higher level. It could be a neighborhood covenant. It could be a neighborhood ordinance. I think that we should pass this, and it certainly will be considered again at the county commission level. But I think the less regulation for less cost without losing any important safety issues, I think makes this a reasonable thing. And I'll make a motion to approve this text amendment.
I second the motion. Randall?
Okay, a motion is made and seconded to approve item number 3, the zoning text amendment 20-03. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Jeff Barth,
Aye.
Adam Morhauser,
Aye.
Doug Odie,
Aye.
Mike Ralston, Becky Randall,
Aye.
Ryan Vanderflit,
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. Item number 3 has been approved. Item number 4 is conditional use permit 20-22 to exceed 3,600 square feet of total accessory building area requesting 7,572 square feet on the property legally described as Lot 2, Smithback's Addition, South half, Southwest Quarter, Section 11, Township 102 North, Range 51 West. Petitioner is Tom Smithback. He is a property owner. This is located at 46418 258, approximately 1 mile northeast of Hartford.
Good evening,
Kevin?
Kevin Hookman, County Planning Department again. This item would have been, our staff has sent out the staff report to the petitioner, and the petitioner read through it and is requesting a small change to be made. The petitioner looked at the requirements and is now requesting to change his building size from 75 by 60 to 72 by 59. So a small reduction in the building size. And the reason why this is in order to, the county has been requiring professional engineers stamps on buildings that are 60 feet wide or wider, in which case requirement number 6 that staff recommends to be placed on it. By having the building 72 by 59, we can remove requirement number 6 and then change requirement number 2 that the total area of all accessory buildings may not exceed 7,320 square feet. So I think that's a pretty straightforward request, and we can, staff can recommend those changes to be made. Is there any questions?
I guess not at this time. Is the petitioner here? Would you please step forward and state your name and address, sir?
Can I do that with the mask down? Is that all right up here? Breathe. Tom Smithback, 46418, Hartford, South Dakota, petitioner for CUP 2022. Be happy to answer any questions if you got them. The size was just as Kevin said too, and when we started this journey, it's kind of funny, the recommendations are 60 foot for horse training. So that's what I had the guy price up, and then lumber's gone crazy, and I had one lumberyard tell me price is not good until it's on the ground, made. So you don't really know. So anyway, prices were kind of spendy come back, so I said to the guy, what can we do? He said, well, change the dimension this way to match the steel length and change the dimension this way for depth so you don't have to do the total engineered building. He's going to build it the same way, and it's the same set of plans and whatnot. He's built for us before, but it saves a few $1,000s. So we thought, well, we can, 1 foot less training's fine. So
Any questions for him?
Madam Chair,
Doug?
Tom, will you be boarding any horses there?
no.
Okay, it's
We
all
got 2
come-
horses and a pony for the kids, and that's it. But yeah, my wife's retired now, and she just does some training for the
You're too
with the
young to be
kids.
retired.
2 more, Doug. Yeah, no, we're not, 2's plenty of work.
Okay.
Any other questions for him? Thank you.
Thank you.
David, is there anyone on Zoom that,
No hands are raised.
thank you. Commissioners?
Madam Chair?
Doug?
I make a motion to approve conditional use permit 2022.
Okay, a motion is made, seconded to approve the conditional use permit 20-22. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Jeff Barth,
Aye.
Adam Morhauser,
Aye.
Doug Odie,
Aye.
Mike Ralston. Becky Randall,
Aye.
Reiner Vanderflit,
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. Item number 4 has been approved. Thank you. Item number 5 is conditional use permit 20-23 to exceed 3,600 square feet of total accessory building area, requesting 4,716 square feet on the property legally described as Tract 2, Bruns Addition, the south half, Section 15, Township 101 North, Range 48 West. Petitioner is Buck Sternberg. Property owner is Linda Wells. It is at 26496 Bruns Place. That's 2 miles south of Brandon. David?
Good evening, Commission. David Heinold, County Planning Department. Conditional use permit 20-23 is to allow 4,716 square feet. This property is located in an existing subdivision, as you see in the attached location map. Staff has gone out to the site and confirmed all the buildings on other adjacent lots. There's one to the north that was just approved for 5,532 square feet, which actually consists of about 2 barns there. So that map has also been included in your packet of information. Staff has reviewed the request and recommends approval of conditional use permit 20-23 with a total of 8 conditions. And if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Any questions for David? Thank you. Is the petitioner here? Will you please step forward, sir, and state your name and address?
My name is Buck Sternberg. I live at 208 South Main in Brandon.
Any questions for him? I guess not at this time. David, is there anyone out there in Zoom?
No hands are raised.
Okay. Look like anyone else is in the room opposing this either. Commissioners?
This is Jeff. I make a motion to approve conditional use permit 20-23.
Second it.
Okay, a motion is made and seconded to approve conditional use permit 20-23. Roll call vote. Jeff Barth?
Aye.
Adam Morehauser?
Aye.
Doug Odie?
Aye.
Mike Ralston? Becky Randall? Ryan Benderflit?
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. Item number 5 has been approved. Item number 6, conditional use permit 20-25 to exceed 3,600 square feet of total accessory building area, requesting 8,752 square feet on the property legally described as Tract 2, Morgan Country Edition, Northwest Quarter, Section 27, Township 101 North, Range 48 West. Petitioner is Terrence Brick. Property owner is the same. Location 48117 266th Street, 3 miles east of Sioux Falls. David?
Good evening, Commission. Again, David Heinold, County Planning Department. The conditional use permit 20-25 is to allow 8,752 square feet. The petitioner would like, it's located right off just east of the Highway 11, South Dakota State Highway 11, right on the county highway. The property is about 10 acres big. The petitioner is requesting to build a lean-to. As you can see, it's kind of outlined in red on the west side of an existing building. The lean-to would be about 16 by 80 feet to the existing accessory building, so the total requesting size is 8,752 square feet. Staff has been to the site and also analyzed the existing buildings in the area. There are several different building sizes. I think the largest is about 5,150 square feet, and there's other different sizes out there on similar sized properties. And staff has reviewed the request and is recommending approval of the petitioner's request for conditional use permit 20-25 with 8 conditions. And if you have any questions on the item, I can answer them.
David? Guess not, David. Is the petitioner here? Will you please step forward and state your name and address?
Terrence Brick, 48117 266th Street, Brandon.
Any questions for him?
Madam Chair, I just got one to ask Terry.
Go ahead, Doug.
Did you have your sign posted?
It's in the ditch, yes. covered up with grass.
It can't, yeah, you can't see it, because I've been looking for the last 3 weeks, or 2 weeks, I haven't
Right
seen.
by the east driveway there.
Okay. I'll look tomorrow morning, so don't take it down tonight.
I'll just move the weeds away from it probably.
Okay, because I was wondering, I got this, and I looked through, and I thought, where is that sign at? Okay, that's it, that's all my biggest question was.
Thanks.
Any other questions for him? David, is there anyone on Zoom that's,
No hands are raised.
okay? I don't see anybody else in the room either. Okay, commissioners?
I'll make a motion to approve item 6.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for conditional use permit 20-25. Any further discussion on this? Okay, roll call vote. Jeff Barth,
Aye.
Adam Morehauser,
Aye.
Doug Odie,
Aye.
Mike Ralston, Becky Randall,
Aye.
Beneflet,
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. Item number 6 has been approved. Thank you. Item number 7, conditional use permit 20-26 to make one building eligibility available on the property legally described as the southwest quarter, the southeast quarter, in parentheses, except tract 1, Granberg addition, into parentheses, section 19, township 102 north, range 47 west. Petitioner is Dallas Granberg. He's also the property owner. The location is 48456 260th Street. That's about 3 miles northeast of Brandon. David?
Good evening, Planning Commission, David Heinold, County Planning Department. The conditional use permit 20-26 is to basically make a single-family dwelling available on the property that's outlined in red. It's about 39 acres. Just showing the pictures of where that would be. It's currently corn right now. This is taken from one of the existing approaches by that shelter belt, where the existing acreage is that the petitioner resides at. And I believe the petitioner is here as well, so if you have any questions, staff does recommend approval of the conditional use permit request 20-26 with 2 conditions on the allowance of the single-family dwelling.
Any questions for David? Is the petitioner here? Will you please step forward and state your name and address, please?
I'm Linda Granberg. I'm married to Dallas, 48456 260th Street, Valley Springs.
Any questions for her? You're basically going to build a house there. Is that what I read in the report?
Yes,
correct?
we have a split foyer right now in that same area, and my husband's got some disabilities, so we need to have a ranch. And so we're selling our existing home to our kids, and then we're going to be out there close to them, so we have some support.
Any other further questions for her? Anything on Zoom, David?
No hands are raised.
And no one else is in the room. Commissioners, do you have any questions for her?
Madam Chair,
Yes, David.
I make a motion to pass conditional use permit 20-26.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve conditional use permit 20-26. Any further comments or questions? Okay. Roll call vote. Jeff Barth?
Aye.
Adam Morehauser?
Aye.
Mike Ralston? Becky Randall?
Aye.
Ryan Vetterflit?
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. Your conditional use permit has been approved. Thank you. Okay, item number 8, conditional use permit 20-27 to transfer one building eligibility from the northwest quarter, the southeast quarter, to the southeast quarter, the southeast quarter, all in Section 21, Township 103 North, Range 51 West. Petitioner is Keith Backrod. Property owner is Susan Boyd. This is located approximately 5 miles north of Hartford. Scott?
Yes, Scott Anderson, Planning Director, and today we have a conditional use permit request to transfer one building eligibility, and this property is about 5 miles north of Hartford, and the applicants simply want to move one building eligibility to allow for a residence to be built for their grandson, and we are recommending approval with one condition, and I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions for Scott?
And
Guess
the
not.
applicants are here.
Petitioner is here. Will you please come forward and state your name and address?
Keith Volkrod, 26004 465th Avenue, Hartford.
I'm Chuck Bokrad, 26004 465th Avenue.
So one of you is going to build a house there, I take it. Okay. Okay. Any other further questions for them? David, anything out there?
No hands are raised.
Okay. Guess we don't have any questions for you.
Oh.
Commissioners?
Chair. I think we missed something here.
Okay.
Patrick.
Was there a hand raised?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a Patrick.
Hi, I'm just wondering, the neighbor over there, just wondering where the house was, planning to be built.
Will one of you come forward and answer his question, please?
It'll be right north of the farm place right there. The farm place is on the corner, and then it'll be right north of the trees.
North of the trees? Okay.
It's about
Thank you.
700 feet north of the highway and 254th Street will be the driveway.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else, David? Just him?
No hands.
Thank you. Okay, I guess they,
Madam Chair, could I ask
Yes,
one
Doug?
quick question while
Oh.
you're still up there? Okay, just reading through here, okay. No known CAFOs within the area. How big are the cattle lot and 2 hog buildings to the east? I was just curious.
I think they're,
Or how old are they and?
well, they're 20-plus years. I think there's 2 finishers and they've expanded their cattle lot, so there's.
Okay. You have no problem with that?
No, I've worked on most of them, so
Okay.
we're good.
Okay, good. Glad to hear that.
any other questions for them? Okay, thanks. Okay, commissioners?
Madam Chair, this is Jeff. I'll make a motion to approve item number 8.
I have a motion and a second to approve conditional use permit 20-27, which is item number 8. Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Jeff Barth,
Aye.
Adam Morehauser,
Aye.
Doug Odie,
Aye.
Mike Ralston, Becky Randall,
Aye.
Ryan Vanderflut,
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. That item has been approved. You're free to go. Okay. Item number 9, is conditional use permit 20-28 to make one building eligibility available on the property legally described as Tract 4, Crawls Edition, Southeast Quarter, Section 36, Township 101 North, Range 51 West. Petitioner is Joshua Nelson. He's a property owner. This is located at 3 miles west of Sioux Falls. Scott?
Yes, thank you. Scott Anderson, Planning Director, and once again, we are basically assigning a building eligibility to this property or making it one available for a house to be built. This is, you're probably familiar with the Blue Haven Barn. You can see this is part, Mr. Nelson is the owner of that, and he is going to be building a house directly south of the Blue Haven Barn. And if you're not familiar with where that's at, it's basically just directly south of Wildwater West. And he is going to be building his house there, which will better help him manage the site. And we are recommending approval with just the one condition that a right to farm notice covenant be placed on the deed prior to the issuance of a building permit. And I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions for Scott? It's not at this time. Is the petitioner here? Will you please come forward and state your name and address, please?
Josh Nelson, 2635 Park Place, T, South Dakota 57064.
Any questions for him, commissioners? David, we have anything on?
No hands are raised.
Okay, you can sit down. We might have to have you come back up. Anyone else to speak to this item, please step forward and state your name and address, please.
My name is Chris Lair. I live at 46578 268th Street. I'm the first house directly west of the property that is being looked at tonight. A couple of questions that I would have. On the staff's reports, it showed exactly where they were going to have the house, which would be 50 feet west, or, excuse me, 50 feet from the west property line and 50 feet in from the road. And with that being said, my concern is that the drainage runs from a culvert from Lincoln County under the road over onto the Minnehaha County side, about 50 to 75 feet back from the property line, and it flows directly through his property. And where the dark spots are on his property is where the flow naturally goes. My concern is being 50 feet off that, what type of house is he going to build? Is he going to have to bring that lowest point or one of the lower points of that property up in order to build his house, pushing the drainage more towards the west, possibly, and what kind of grading would be on that property? The second issue or concern that I have is that right now with the snow and the height and or the lowness of our road and that stuff, we have quite a few drifts that go from Bleeckers, which is just across and just a little bit back from Blue Haven Barn and where he wants to build. And we have issues of trying to get out because the maintainers from Della Prey don't normally come until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 10 o'clock at night, just depending on, what the snow volumes are. Now building another house 50 feet from the road just makes it that much worse and pushes all the snow and all of that stuff back more towards the west. And that being said, if you go back a mile and over to 269th, that's bad roads during the wintertime. And if you go up to Plucker's Corner and go north, that's, bad roads too. So those are my two concerns that I have. So it would be, the house, what type of house, and is it going to change the drainage flow, or what are the plans to make sure that the drainage flow doesn't happen to come back onto the farmland, much less push back up into the into the culvert and back then farther into, towards the west. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Petitioner, will you please step forward and can you answer any of her questions?
So I've already put culverts under where that drainage flows already for my parking lot at the facility, at the barn. I would just be culverting as needed to get the drainage through there. It's $1.5 million house. I'm not gonna run a drainage right through the center of it, so. And as far as snow removal goes, I've got to have access for people into the businesses anyway, so if the maintainers haven't come by, I've already cleaned out the road most likely anyway, so that's not going to impact them at all. Up to my point of property anyway.
Any further questions for him?
Madam Chair,
Doug?
Joshua, would you have a problem with moving it a little bit farther back from the road? Or how would that work in
Most
your
likely,
plan?
I probably would anyway, but no, I wouldn't have a problem if you wanted that in writing.
Okay. Because I'm just looking, 50 years from now, what's going to happen to that county line road? Is it going to be all paved? You know, and
Right.
I just don't want you to be too close to the road right now. You build this, and it's too close to the road right now. I'd prefer you could have it back as far as you can.
Which I would definitely do.
Okay.
But since 50 feet is the minimum setback, I just want to make sure I meet the minimum requirements.
Sure.
But would like to
Move it back.
actually move it more
Fine.
north and east.
All right,
so.
thank you.
Any other questions for him? Yes, not at this.
I got one.
Okay, go ahead, Doug.
The property right now, how is it being used? Is it cut for grass, hay, or?
Alfalfa.
Okay. All right, so it is agriculture right now, so somebody did, okay.
Guess you've answered all the questions. Thank you. David, we have anybody else out there?
No hands are raised.
Okay.
Madam Chair?
Anyone? Go ahead, Deb.
Madam Chair?
Jeff? Go ahead.
Yes, I just, I thought Doug brought up a couple of good points, and I do believe that it won't be too long before that road is paved all the way out, at least to the highway from Sioux Falls, where it's still potholes and gravel, and it will continue to be paved and in time, and there's likely to be more development out that way. But this is just the changes that happen. I'll make a motion to approve conditional use permit 20-28.
Chair, I'll second that.
Motion is made and seconded to approve conditional use permit 20-28. Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Jeff Barth?
Aye.
Adam Morehauser?
Aye.
Doug Odie?
Aye.
Mike Ralston? Becky Randall?
Aye.
Ryan Vanderflit?
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. That item has been approved. You're free to go. Thank you. Item number 10, conditional use permit 20-29 to transfer one building eligibility from the northwest quarter to the southwest quarter, the northwest quarter, all in the west half, the northwest quarter, in parentheses, except the west 140 feet, the south 60 feet, the north 309 feet, and lots H-1 and H-2, into parentheses, section 22, township 101 north, range 51 west, petitioner is Forrest Miller, property owner is the same, approximately 6 miles west of Sioux Falls. Scott?
Once again, Scott Anderson, and a request to transfer one building eligibility. You may be familiar with this area. It's at what we would call the Wall Lake, the intersection of the Wall Lake Oil and South Dakota Highway 42. And the applicant wants to move the building eligibility from up by the highway further south to the quarter that's further to the south. And that makes a lot of sense to us because it's likely that someday that area will probably be more commercial. And they're moving that eligibility further to the south, away from those existing commercial businesses up to the north. So I think we're all pretty familiar with this area, and staff is recommending approval with that one condition, that a right to farm notice be placed on the deed prior to any building permit for a single-family residence being constructed. And I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have, and the applicant's here too.
Any questions for Scott? Guess not. Petitioners here, will you please come forward and state your name and address?
Hi, Forrest Miller, 26531, 463rd Avenue, Hartford.
Any questions for him?
Madam Chair, this is Jeff.
Go ahead.
Mr. Miller, there's been a lot of talk about things near Wall Lake lately. Would you have any plan on hooking up to the Wall Lake Sanitary District with, the septic system, or do you plan to have it self-contained, so to speak?
Oh, it would be self-contained. I live right across the road, and I'm on the Wall Lake sanitary sewage system. And so I'm not in,
Okay.
this is outside the Wall Lake sanitary system, so it would be a septic system.
It's a growing area, though, and so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, but they don't
who
have,
knows what it'll like.
it's growing, but they don't have availability on the septic system to take on a bunch of new houses either, so.
That's true.
If I would ask for one there, they would say, sorry, you're out of our, you're out of our area. So the answer would be no, it wouldn't be on the Wall Lake, it would be a septic system.
Any other further questions for him?
No hands are raised.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I guess you can sit down for now.
Yep, thanks.
Madam Chair, this is Jeff. I'll make a motion to approve conditional use permit 20-29.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion second to approve conditional use permit 20-29. Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Jeff Barth,
Aye.
Adam Moorhauser,
Aye.
Doug Odie,
Aye.
Mike Ralston, Becky Randall,
Aye.
Ryan Bitterflit,
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. That item has been approved. You're free to go. Thank you. Item number 11, conditional use permit 20-30 to transfer one building eligibility from the southeast quarter, the southwest quarter, to the southwest quarter, the southeast quarter, all in section 31, township 103 north, range 49 west. Petitioner is Brett Whitmore. Property owner is Judy Whitmore. 3 miles east of Crooks is the location. Scott?
This is a request to transfer one building eligibility from all in section 31 and as I indicated, or as you indicated, this is approximately 3 miles west of Crooks. The acreage is along 256th Street, and they're just moving it from one quarter to the east, and there is an existing farmstead or farmstead there, and they are going to be moving on the same quarter where that farmstead is. I did go out to the site and inspected it. It seems like it's appropriate. There's a lot of development you can see sort of in that area already, and staff is recommending approval to move the building eligibility with the one condition that a right to farm notice covenant be placed on the property before they build a house. So I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have, and the applicants are here as well.
Any questions for Scott? Guess not. Will the petitioners come forward, state your name and address, please?
Brett Whitmore, 47274 256th Street, Renner.
And I'm Judy Whitmore, 47274 256th Street, Renner. I'm the owner.
Can she speak into the microphone?
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm Judy Whitmore, And I, at 47274 256th Street, Renner, and I am the owner.
Okay. Are you building a house? Is that what your
Yeah,
your
pretty
intention?
much, yeah.
Okay, that's kind of
So,
what I, from the
yeah.
staff report, that's kind of what I got. Okay. Any other further questions for them?
No hands are raised.
Okay. Okay, I guess there's no questions for you at this time. Commissioners?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve item 11.
This is Jeff, I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve conditional use permit 20-30. Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Jeff Barth? Aye. Adam Morhauser?
Aye.
Doug Odie?
Aye.
Mike Ralston? Becky Randall?
Aye.
Ryan Vanderflit?
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. Conditional use permit has been approved. You're free to go. Thank you. Item number 12, conditional use permit 20-31 to exceed 3,600 square feet of total accessory building area, requesting 11,158 square feet on the property legally described as Tract 2, Hemstra Addition, Northeast Quarter, Section 32, Township 101 North, Range 51 West. Petitioner is Cheryl or Harlan Cluck. That's also the property owners, 46173 267th Street, 7.5 miles west of Sioux Falls. David?
Good evening, Planning Commission. David Heinold, County Planning Department. Conditional use permit 20-31 is to allow 11,158 square feet. This is about a mile to the southwest of Wall Lake, right along 267th Street. The petitioner is proposing to build a 34 by 96 foot greenhouse building. Here's a kind of a map of, you can see the existing buildings. There's a couple large buildings, machine sheds there, and some smaller sheds on the property. I did tour the property a couple weeks ago and looked at the buildings, and you can tell that a lot of the stuff on the property is used for mostly kind of like a personal agricultural basis. They do a lot of farming type uses there. There are animals on the property. There's some horse or cattle and I think some goats there, and some chickens on the property. So the greenhouse style building would be located to the southeast. As you can see, there's kind of an X there, kind of closer to the cornfield there. Just looking at some of the buildings in the area, as you can see on the attached map, there is a similar sized property about a quarter mile to a half mile to the west along 267th Street that has a collection of buildings that totals about 13,456 square feet. And then you've got some other different sizes. That property is about 21 acres, so a little bit larger, double the size. And there's some other properties that 26646 461st Avenue, which would be to the northwest. As you can see that there's the 7,758 square feet, or actually, that's to the east of the subject property. As you see on the map there on along 267th Street. Other sizes are 2,250 square feet to 5,381 square feet. So we'll exceeds that 3,600 square feet for parcels over 3 acres. Staff, as mentioned, has been out to the site and conferred with the buildings, just showing the existing layout. As you can see where that corn rows would be there, that would be where that building would be located. Staff recommends approval of conditional use permit 20-31 with a total of 8 conditions, and I'd be glad to answer any questions if you have them about the site or any of the criteria.
Any questions for David?
Madam Chair,
Becky?
the applicant is aware that this is just a permit for the building and not a conditional use of permit to operate a greenhouse, correct?
You can ask the petitioner, but that is correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for David? Okay, as a petitioner here, will you please come forward and state your name and address?
My name is Cheryl Cluck.
You go to the microphone, please.
My name is Cheryl Cluck. I live at 46173 267th Street in Hartford.
You understood Becky's comment about, you want to state your question again, Becky, please?
Just to verify that you understand that this is just for the building permit and is
Yes.
not a permit for the greenhouse.
We'll get into that later when we get it going.
Okay, just wanted to double check. Thank
That's
you.
fine.
Anyone else have any questions for her? David?
No hands are raised.
Okay. Okay, I guess that's all for now.
Thank you.
Commissioners?
I move approval of conditional use permit number 20-31.
This is Jeff, second.
Okay, I have a motion and second to approve conditional use permit 20-31. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Jeff Barth,
Aye.
Hauser,
Aye.
Doug Odie,
Aye.
Mike Ralston, Becky Brandel,
Aye.
Ryan Vandervliet,
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. Conditional use permit has been approved. Free to go. Item number 13, conditional use permit 20-32 to exceed 10,000 square feet of commercial building area, requesting 4,880 square feet on the property legally described as Lot 1, Block 1, Sorms First Edition, Section 16, Township 102 North, Range 49 West. Petitioner is Jensen Holdings LLC. That is the property owner, 25804 Lindbergh Avenue, 3 miles north of Sioux Falls. Kevin?
Kevin Hookman, County Planning Department. And without jumping ahead, I'll just note that the next three items, 13 through 15, are very closely related to each other as they're all by the same petitioner, similar request and under the same kind of development there. The conditional use permit number 2032 is to exceed 10,000 square feet of commercial building area in a commercial zoning district. The petitioner has been developing this land, this lot plus the others, into similar size warehouse type buildings. And this particular property is a request for 14,880 total square feet. It would be in addition to the existing building. So there's a site plan there, what it would look like where the existing building with the addition. This is what the proposed addition is. It's just doors and warehouse space for his current use. And there's what the current building looks like with a warehouse and also office use. There's a couple of pictures here of the existing building. The building to the south has the similar style architecture with similar elements, the colors and the signage and stuff. And there, I presume the new building that's coming up later will also have a similar style architecture and building. So staff is looking at this and recommending approval with 5 conditions. I will note that before I walk back just a little bit, one of the key things with commercial buildings with this sort of structure is parking spaces. And as you can kind of see how he has parking in this particular area, he does have plenty of parking, and he will be required to have parking adequate for all the uses that he's providing. So back to the recommendation of approval with 5 conditions. If there's any questions, I'm here, and I guess we'll kind of move these through a little bit since they're right similar.
Okay, any questions for Kevin? Is the
Madam Chair,
petition?
Madam Chair, can I
Go ahead,
ask
Doug.
Kevin? Is this in the floodplain at all?
No, this is outside of the floodplain. The floodplain officially is about, 300 feet further to the west. Maybe a little bit more than that even.
Okay.
Any further questions? Is the petitioner here? Will you come forward and state your name and address, please?
Ron Jensen, 25552 479th Avenue, Garrettson.
Anyone have any questions for him? David?
No hands are raised.
I guess not to be nosy, but these are commercial buildings. What really do you do?
Jensen Electric is our business, so
Okay.
electrical contractor.
That answers my question.
Sure.
Okay. Any other questions for him? Okay, commissioners? Guess that's all for now. Come up again, the next one. I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval of
We're
item,
just going to do item 13 at one time here.
Yes, because they're all separated.
All right, well, I'll make a motion to approve permit number 20-32.
second.
Made and seconded to approve conditional use permit 20-32. Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Jeff Barth? Aye. Adam Moorhauser?
Aye.
Doug Odie?
Aye.
Mike Ralston? Becky Randall?
Aye.
Ryan Vanderflut?
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. That item has been approved. Item number 14. Same thing, it looks like. They're requesting 17,600 square feet.
Yes, very similar.
No.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
County Planning Department, Kevin Hookman. This is a similar request. And I'll note that, again, this map doesn't show it, but there is an existing building here. And one difference with this request is staff is requesting a change in kind of how make sure that there's a change in how the driveway structure is done. Because right now there's a very large driveway in the south side of the property, and staff is wanting to make sure that there's at least a break in the driveway onto Monarch Lane. And this isn't exactly to scale, but just an idea that we have at least something green space in between two driveways so it doesn't become one big loading yard. And with that, staff recommends approval of conditional use permit 2033 with 7 conditions.
Kevin, that's one of the conditions you were just talking about, right? Okay.
Yes, and that would be one of the conditions.
Okay, gotcha. Any other questions for Kevin?
Kevin, I got
Doug?
a question. What, just dawned on me, what about lighting? We haven't discussed any lighting with this, have we? As far as flooding on property, neighbor's property?
We have not discussed lighting. It has been discussed a little bit in the measures are taken to control offensive odors, fumes, dust, vibration, and lighting. And I guess from my knowledge of the area, I guess I've never noticed glare from the existing lighting. He has some soffit lights, and I don't know of any what are they called? The lights that just shine in the neighbor's property. He'll probably know, he's an electrician. But, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions for Kevin? I'm going to come up again, sir. State your name and address again.
Ron Jensen, 25552 479th Avenue, Garrettson. I could speak to the lighting thing
Good, I was
first,
just gonna bring that up.
if you don't
Go
mind.
ahead. Sure, go ahead.
Our both existing buildings that we built, we have all full cutoff lighting on that, so they're designed to not shoot outward. They're designed to to reflect the light downward to not be offensive to neighboring properties. And
thank you.
We intend to do the same thing on this. And I had one other comment on the driveway separation.
Go ahead.
If that's possible. I'm totally fine with putting that in there. I think it stated in there about 25 feet as the spacing. What we're looking at doing is possibly shifting where the loading dock area of the building connects to the warehouse area by about 5 feet. So if we could narrow that from 25 to 20 and then put another 5 on the other side, so we'd still have the same width driveway, we'd just be shifting it over. If that's allowed, that would work better with our flow. But we'd still have a green space there.
Sir, are these steel buildings? These
They're
commercial buildings?
steel, a post frame on a foundation.
Okay. Any other questions for him? Okay, I guess that's it for that one. Commissioners? I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair,
Doug?
I move that we approve item 14, conditional use permit 20-33.
I'll second that.
Jeff, I second.
I have a motion and a second to approve conditional use permit 20-33. Any further questions, comments?
Do we need to amend that so that it is 20 feet, item number 5?
Kevin, you want to add comment on that?
I'd say that as it's written, if you're going to grant the petitioner's request, we should amend item number 5 to 20 feet if that's what the commission feels is okay.
So for clarification of discussion, then, the other 5 feet will be coming from the next conditional use permit that we're approving?
No, it'd just be put on the other side of the driveway. So basically, the driveway would still stay the same width, but instead of the 25-foot gap between the two, there'd be 20 foot, but there'd be another 5-foot green space on the other side of that driveway, all on the same property.
Okay. Okay.
Right. For those who are maybe at home listening, the petitioner stated that it'd be 20 feet wide and the additional 5 feet would be taken off the other edge of the driveway for more green space on the edge of the driveway. So it'd be then 35 feet extending north and east of the corner. Is that what it sounds like? Something like that? Yeah, something like that. The 20, yep, 25 to 20.
Commissioners, are we okay with that? Jeff?
I am. Are we making an amendment or are we just having an agreement here?
It needs to be amended, Jeff.
Okay, then I withdraw my second.
So are you going to withdraw then too?
I'll
So-
withdraw my motion.
Okay, so if we changed as the petitioner is requesting, all other conditions remaining the same, condition number 5 will read, a 20 feet wide minimum separation must be placed between the current driveway on the south and any new driveway for the addition. The separation must include vegetative cover extending a minimum of 15 feet into the front yard.
That will be my motion.
I think that we can cover the
Yeah.
location of the other one from there.
So do we need to change 6 then too, also?
I think that we can cover it from that.
Okay.
I do have a motion from Jeff
I'll second it now.
Have a motion and second to approve conditional use permit 20-33 with the additional, or the amended condition of number 5. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Jeff Barth?
Aye.
Adam Morhauser?
Aye.
Doug Odie?
Aye.
Mike Ralston? Becky Randall?
Aye.
Ryan Vanderflut?
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. Number 14 has been approved. Item number 15, conditional use permit 20-34, exceeding 10,000 square feet. Now we're at 15,500. Kevin, you want to address this one?
All right, and this is the third one in this kind of series of development here. This will be on the middle property. This would be an entirely new building located in the center of the two, between the two. As the report says, it'll be requesting 15,500 square feet. Staff is recommending approval with 5 conditions.
Any other questions for Kevin?
Madam Chair, just, Kevin, one.
Adam?
I think when he divides this lot out here and to the south there, right, lot 4 there, that's for future development then, right?
Yes, it will still, so I think this is, yeah, lot 4 will be for future development.
There's
And-
gonna be nothing there for right now. That's gonna be just bare ground then, right?
Yep, and if you look at how this is showing, that has lot 4 with kind of the panhandle to the south, that is going to be part of the addition for the other
For the other one, for the
permit,
previous
so.
one then.
But yeah, there'll be most of lot 4, there will be for another building of future use.
I was just wondering how the driveway is gonna work with that then. Are they gonna still share that, like, where they come in for lot 3 and 4 then, or will they have it all along, was that Lindbergh Avenue then, or?
Sure, all of these lots are double-fronted lots, so they are fronted by Lindbergh Avenue. Then on the south side of the property, there's Monarch Lane, and then on the east side of the property is the County Highway 115. Along the east side of the property, there is a access easement that runs along the entire north and south line, and a driveway, a paved driveway to the back property,
I forgot about that one.
so.
Okay.
Any other questions for Kevin? Guess not at this time. Sir, you want to come back up and state your name and address again?
Probably wouldn't work to give you a different one this time. Ron Jensen, 25552 479th Avenue, Garrettson.
Any other questions for him? David, anything out there?
No hands
Okay,
raised.
thank you.
Madam Chair, this is Jeff. I'll make a motion to approve conditional use permit 20-34.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and second to approve conditional use permit 20-34. Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Jeff Barth?
Aye.
Adam Morhauser?
Aye.
Doug Odie?
Aye.
Mike Ralston? Becky Randall?
Aye.
Ryan Vanderflut?
Aye.
Bonnie Duffy, aye. Those items have been approved, sir. Thank you. Okay, item number 16. Recall conditional use permit 16-85 to allow truck and trailer storage and repair on the property legally described as Lot 2, Block 1, Green Valley Addition, Northeast Quarter, Section 12, Township 102 North, Range 50 West. Petitioner is Steve Schreiner. He's also the property owner. This is at 47174 Haley Street, 2 miles north of Sioux Falls. David?
Good evening, Planning Commission. David Heinold, County Planning Department. Just giving you an update. I went out to the site on Friday. The driveway has been hard surfaced, as you can see in the photo there, through all 3 of those bays, and then as well as the access back to the gravel storage yard back behind the building. So The property meets all of the requirements of the zoning ordinance and the conditional use permit, so no further action is needed on this item. Is there any questions you have?
So basically now he's complied with everything that,
Correct.
okay. Any other further questions for him? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, any old business? Any new business? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, I need a roll call vote. Jeff?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Mike? Becky?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Bonnie? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.